Hey, what manga fans? I am back with another video. And I'm finally doing it. It's finally here. My review on Kinnikuman's 20th Chojin Olympics arc. Yep, finally reviewing it. And boy, it did not disappoint. I really enjoyed it. It's a great arc and helps, as we all know, this arc helped what shift the series into becoming a wrestling manga than just a gag manga. It's a really great arc showing Kinnikuman's growth, showing that there's more there. And at the end of the chapter 51, it says part 1. Stressing that the events up to the end of the 20th Children Olympics is titled part 1. Which, yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense to divide them into parts. Since part 1 is just focused on the gag manga aspect. As there's still a lot more gag comedy in this arc. But it starts to get serious towards the end, towards the finals. And if you know read Kinnikuman, there's a fan translation. I think it's a fan translation. But I think the official English version is available in physical copies. I did see some online, but I'm not sure. I just had to buy one to find out, but I'll wait till I get paid in 2 weeks or next week. Yeah. So, we have enough after buy Switch 2, but I do buy Switch 2. So, let's get into this epic story arc. Also, spoiler, my favorite character in this arc, when he turns to the early portion, is Mayumi Kinniku, the father of Suguru Kinniku, aka Kinnikuman. He has a lot of good gags in this arc. Again, I mentioned this in my review on the first arc, that after his debut, earlier on chapter 4, well, technically chapter 3, as it was a flashback and stuff, it seemed like he abandoned Suguru, but their new adopted sons never mentioned again once they return. Yeah, did the duo actually forget that? Did the Tomodo actually forget that? I don't know, but it doesn't bother me much, because I really do like his parents. They're fun characters. At least Mayumi is. So he haven't got much time with his mother. It's not introduces two important summer characters that become important later down the line. So the story opens up with Mayumi telling his son that he's going to be entering the 20th Children Olympics, representing Japan. Why does he have to go though? Well, not one the Ultraman, by the way. The translation now changed the Ultraman. Changed the name of Ultraman to... which most likely done for copyright issues. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't remember the translations, but I don't know, but it's still obviously Ultraman. Well, apparently, Ultraman did participate in the 19th tournament, but was beaten by the champion, Robin Mask, who hails from England. Oh, good jolly old show, mates! Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm British, but I'm from the UK myself, so yeah, I'm allowed to be stereotypical. So this arc really was Kinnikuman for a winner, as he gets a pretty cool moment, and the final bow against Robin Mask was amazing. It shows the duo really knew what they were doing. I can't tell that one-off wrestling chapter was actually just literally a one-off, or they were planning to do this arc some point. I really don't know, but hey, it's all good, Andy. Anyway, Tamer shows up for a real bit. Well, due to Tara being out of commission, not going there. The Japan has been cut. Kinnikuman doesn't really care about it because you know who he is. By the way, the size change appearance starts to be phased out a bit throughout this arc. No joke. Well, as I count it, I think there are like 2 or 3 size changes in the entirety of this arc. You can see that this duo is starting to phase that part out of him. Seems like he's starting to phase the gigantification out of him for next on. Because focus on the Western aspect, which is a good idea. I'm not really a Western fan, but I cannot wait to continue reading after reading this arc. As the only other children Fred Kinnikuman's had about part 1 is Terryman. And there's a good moment in this arc, especially Terryman. He has a great moment. Showing he's a great character. I mentioned this in the first video that a lot of these characters are based on stereotypes. So, yeah, anyway. Robin Mask shows up, basically saying that Kinnikuman is pathetic. And he has a mad. Well, managed to go pretty. To match him equally. The Renaissance press allowed Kinnikuman to officially join the Children Olympics. Because we found out that Robin Mask actually won this in the first place. He was going easy. Interesting. Again, reading this arc, I really like Robin Mask as a character. He's technically an antagonist in this arc. Technically, in terms of tournament rules. But he's a great character. He's a great good person. Is that basically because British are stereotypically jolly? And it's jolly old England? I don't know. But I don't mind it. I like Robin Mask as a character. Also, recently a new volume of the Perfect Origin arc has come out, volume 92 of the main entire series. Yes, this is still considered a continuation of the manga, as in a story arc. It's not separate. It doesn't have its own separate volumes. So now it's up to volume 92. And season 3 of the Perfect Origin arc on the way. It's a perfect time to catch up, read the entire manga, watch the anime. I won't be able to watch the movies at first. Anyway. So I will eventually find ways to watch them, hopefully. I'll also watch Kinnikuman Nisei and read the manga. All in preparation. And read the manga version of Perfect Origin arc. Watch the anime versions. I really am excited. But for my manga reviews, if I watch the anime, I'm going to end my manga reviews temporarily of this series at the last arc. I think it's the Golden Mask arc. I think. What's a different arc? I don't know. It's the arc that comes before the Scrabble of the Throne arc, which was adapted in the later series in the 90s. So, viewing up to the last arc before the Scramble of the Throne will be a good thing for me, so cannot wait to check that out. Anyway. Yeah, Kinnikuman, especially in the Chojin Olympics. And again, Mayumi Kinnikuman was just a blast about this portion of the story. Showing her, again, it's kind of still find it weird that they no longer mention this, the son they adopted, because obviously it's a gag marker. It's just weird they never mention that again after they started becoming recurring characters. It's kind of sad about what point for now. Who knows though? Oh, no one happens like no a certain character. I wonder. Most likely may put it up again in Scramble for the Throne arc. So who knows? We'll see how that goes when we actually get there. But anyway. So yeah, it's basically like the first arc is more like a typical Olympics with different events. And all for comedic gag purposes. Once I did a video publisher of this arc, it started to shift. So after most of the people are eliminated, it's all community shenanigans. They're not really going up with them. Leaving only 8 people left. I'll give you the most important characters' names other than Kinnikuman and Robin Mask. There's Robin Man, Rocket Man. There's also Guy Man, who's in a way important. There's Sky Man. Oh, I might miss one. Might be one I can't remember. But yeah, this arc, where the series starts to show more brutality, it's only one portion of the story, but still, it's set the standard for what's going to come in later story arcs. If you have a weak stomach, don't read it. Someone said, "Oh, Jojo, don't read that if you have a weak stomach." So, anyway. Okay, you me as usual idiot self about this about the arc. And now we get to the semi-finals. I was gonna not broadcast this on TV, and you're gonna broadcast on radio, but it's for a reason. Later, me finds out why. Both Runman and Brocken Jr. Sorry, got that mixed up then. Both Runman Man and Brocken Man have history of when their fights have very not say what TB type of things. Where the opponents are brutally killed. They're dangerous. Also, Brocken Man is a how do I say this? He wears a certain sticker with a certain symbol. He has a certain pose. He's basically part of a group that works under a certain man with a pencil mustache. Fucking, I'm gonna say it. Fucking Hitler. Nazi. He's a Nazi. Yeah, that definitely had. The anime definitely had trouble with that in France. No joke. It was mentioned in a video by Mercury Falcon on the French dub of Fist of the North Star. I recommend go check that out. It's fascinating. So, and well, the Ramen Man vs. Brocken Man fight. Oof, it's gory. And Brocken Man's not really that important anyway. He doesn't get much time. So he just ends up being killed. Like, literally his torso just ripped off his body. His legs just ripped off. That's gruesome. Brocken Man's dead. But yeah, sort of has an effect on a later character. So anyway. A Time Man's fight against Sky Man is a pretty good one. Oh yeah, the other guy was Canadian Man, sorry. Forgot. So yeah, Terry Man managed to win the fight now. Yeah, I like how the series is focusing more on instead of making a comedic fight like the first tournament arc of Dragon Ball did. No, treating this fight a little more seriously. They're treating these battles more seriously in a way. Serious, but it's not typical gag manga comedy. It shows the two duo moving away from just being a gag manga, becoming what is known for today. And I cannot wait to get to the Pepper origin arc. And once I get, it'll be sort of a part 1 video. Yeah, I'm going to be reviewing the manga in parts. That portion in parts, because where the manga currently is, it's still ongoing and stuff, so I'm going to be doing it in parts and do chapter reviews after that. So I'm going to continue the content. Anyway, after that, and once eventually does, I'm going to do a part 2, then when time passes more, I'm going to reread the entire arc as a complete set for a complete video review. Those are my plans. And the final match of the semi-finals is Kinnikuman versus Curryman. It's a weird fight, but Kinnikuman wins. An incident happens during, the next final portion, where Kinnikuman battles Ramen Man. Ramen Man seems like a horrible person at first. It's a really cool short fight, not that long of a battle. But Kinnikuman wins because those stupid idiots from the viewer have been recurring characters since the gag portion of the story. Trying to shoot Kinnikuman, but Taima is taking the injury instead. No one else knows. Nice guys are fighting out, but Taima knocks him unconscious so he can fight Kevin Mask. And he's doing dirty because of his injured leg. He ended up giving up, being the truth. Kinnikuman is a fighting out too after he says some horrible things. And I love these two's friendship. They're great characters. So Kinnikuman, and Robin Mass is a kind guy too. Again, I love his character. He's not an egotistical prick. He's a good he is a kind person. Hence why he's a Chojin, a type of superhero. Hey, come on. Respect. That's really cool. One of the badass characters is from the UK. It's from the UK. British representation, baby. Sorry. Anyway, Ali's the final match. But of course, they ended up doing the training because Robert Max is a promoter. Another situation unfolded before that. After Robert Max found out that Kinnikuman does not have a finisher. Not yet, anyway. If you finish the series, you know what the finisher is. But he hasn't established it yet. So yeah, that's Kinnikuman's one weakness. And when he says the loser will be banished from their country. I expect this to be done by the end of the arc. But no, it's still a fact. Rubberman agrees to it too. I don't know, while dealing with situations. I'm still pissed. Telling myself and asking why he's doing this. He doesn't want his loss being. It's primal now. Kinnikuman to win on luck. Prove to him that his loss wasn't a fluke. Well, it seems to get to Kinnikuman. As for the fight against one man, in the fight against the Kevin Mask. So, alright, I'm getting things confused now. Robin Mask, sorry, I got confused with another character. It was in a spin-off series. But once I've done the manga, I also review before I review Nisei. I want to review a spin-off manga that focuses on Ramen Man. Yeah, there was a spin-off manga published in Fresh Jump. But that series ended up ending not due to cancellation, but due to it was done by the authors themselves. It was done by them themselves. Just after it end the original manga, the original run, due to 3 different factors: pressure from the fans, chronic back pain, and jealousy towards Akira Toriyama over Dragon Ball. I mean, yeah, Dragon Ball was doing that, taking the elements Kinnikuman established and popularizing it, be thoroughly part of the Battle Shonen formula we know today. Also, Kinnikuman was more of a wrestling manga, not a battle manga. Dragon Ball was what popularized battle manga, taking elements from what made those other series popular, working them into the way. And Nighttime Sensei debuted, by the way, in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. So Dragon Ball was already established as a battle manga at the time. So, anyway, Kinnikuman ends up wearing the Planet Kaneko type outfit, symbolism, as he faces Rubber Mask. It's a really well done fight. And while Rubber Mask ends up unleashing some type of beast that's willing to kill, powerful and dangerous. This is like Kinnikuman lost. Xeno died. Even Rubber Mask regrets it because he didn't want to kill anyone. But Kinnikuman is still alive. Batman comments on, wow, he moved on instinct, as he doesn't even know how he won. He dubs his power burning inner strength. But it's going to take a while for Kinnikuman to fully learn to master that power. So yeah, Rubber Mask lost and especially banished from England. And the Minister of Japan starts respecting Kinnikuman now, as he proved himself. Again, it's a big wave for Kinnikuman. As don't forget, in prior chapters before this arc, he lost. And he only got this far for just luck. Gag manga luck. But this is the first time he truly won by his own merits. No luck. And that's a big victory for him. So yeah. And people turn on Rubber Mask just instantly because he lost. But Kinnikuman tell Jackson up on that. As they turn on him just for losing, even though they loved him before. Again, Kinnikuman may be a selfish prick sometimes, but he's a good person. Especially in Toriyama's introduction in Chapter 7. It was a great showcase of his character. I respect you, Suguru Kinigu. Anyway, you was told. You was told there's a whole traveling. There's another tournament, a more powerful tournament where champions from across the globe will be coming. As in, they'll be traveling across the globe. So Kinnikuman will be traveling across the globe with hot chick, with some hot escorts. So by the time that happens, though, they couldn't get him, and no one wanted to go with him. So he ends up tagging along. It's funny. As their journeys officially begin, as a new era begins with Kinnikuman, and with subtitle on the bottom ending part 1. I don't know if it was in the original manga, or that was just something added in English translation, but it does feel like a part 1. Like, similar like Chainsaw Man, right? It's 2 sagas, which is just parts 1 and 2. I'm not read part 2, but I can tell there's some differences. Difference in a different status quo compared to the first half. It makes sense to be titled in parts. Kinnikuman's doing the same. The first part is focused on the gag manga portion, but the end just changes it to focus on wrestling now against the second part. So, yeah. I gotta check how long the next arc is, but I'm so glad, can't wait to continue reading this. I just love Kinnikuman. I've just become a fan now. I was only familiar with the series prior, but after spending time reading this manga, I'm going to love it. And I cannot wait to check out the anime when I can. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please thumbs up button. Want to see more, subscribe to the channel. In the about the overviews in the future. And just go stay for more videos. I may watch a bit of Gintama on Netflix for the season reviews. Maybe. Or you watch a Psyche K on Netflix. We'll see. Super Jump out.